This is the foundation. Stories from people who build things, products, services, businesses, how they started, what they're doing now, and where they're going.
Armin, I appreciate you taking the time today to talk to me. How are you?
I am doing well, David. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm glad to see that you're standing still. Usually, when I see you on social media and other places, you either in an airport or at some show or some specifiers building that they're specking a lot of your beautiful brick and tile.
It's embarrassing, David. Last year, I think I was ambassador at one hotel chain called Marriott. I, I don't, I'm not honored by my title of over 100 days in a hotel. It's almost embarrassing.
Well, you must be doing it well because I can then segue to what I think I saw recently as a congratulate Armin on 56 years at Arto. Is it still 56 or have we gone beyond that?
Well, the cat's out of the bag. That's how old I am. I look 79, but I'm 56.
So you're saying you've been working since you came into this world.
It's a family business. It's my middle name, Arto, and my brother's middle name as well, and my dad's first name. So he started the company illegally, probably late 50s, early 60s, but legally, I think 1966 is the actual hard date we picked. Illegally because it was a side hustle for him for a while first.
That's right. I read that he was selling them to customers on his milk route when he was
Correct.
doing a lot of clay thin brick veneers, right?
He had one SKU, not even a corner.
Let's do a little bit more foundational understanding for those watching of what Arto brick and clay tile, what you produce.
We produce cool shit for cool people making cool places. And right now, that is concrete products and clay products. But the goal is to add more material because I don't have enough capital to be the biggest, but I have enough capital to be the best. So we're aiming at niching down. I use clay because it can be porcelain or terracotta. We do both, and then stone is immediately on the horizon. The next one would be either glass or metals. So looking to add more. And then my father was in the leather business in Egypt. So another one would be leather of some sort, and then wood, and then whatever else. It might be only IP. The way the world's turning out, David, maybe I only design IP and it'll be in everyone's glasses and no one will
Do
actually
you
have
have some?
anything.
Do you have a meta glass at this point?
I don't, but I know the future for my great grandchildren might be that we live in glass boxes and not having there's nothing to seal or feel, or it'll be all about textures I mean, my point of view, we're built for textures and color, so it'd be very interesting to have no tactile things in our lives in the future.
So tell me, you've been doing this, as you jokingly said, for 56 years. Tell me the
Joke, sorry,
difference between the specifier in 2026.
David. I am Mr. Top of Funnel due to poverty and lack of sales force and A&D teams. We unwittingly cracked open the ability to influence the end user. I don't know what we've done. We're kind of success. I don't know how to repeat it, but we don't real have a real A&D team.
Okay.
It's been mostly top of funnel, bringing the eyeballs of customers to the business. The only thing we've done proper at the business is literature. So we have EPDs, HPDs, all of the ABCDs of data people need to put it into a plans. But
Okay.
the middle part of people going to show to architects, we are not good at that or not focused on that. We focused on top of funnel, and then when we get to the bottom, like hopefully catching the ball.
Interesting. So, and a full disclosure, not that it's a disclosure that's worth any concern. We met because my wife, Celia, the exterior designer, was not, as you said, the end user, the consumer. So she was specifying Arto for a lot of the projects. So you're telling me she was sort of atypical in that respect?
Correct. We have A&D professionals that reach out to us. The nearest thing that we have to a program is using Material Bank as a lead source. But that's kind of like almost in a way Google targeted words, in a way they're looking for a product, they ask for it. So going to a firm, like, believe it or not, I never called your wife.
Oh,
Someone told me to come.
she likes to search, that's for sure.
Yeah, so she's an example of a person that's doing the homework. She's not looking for the everyday run of the mill because, any case, I remember being called in and I was like honored, but we didn't knock on her door. So that's kind of the thing because we're always understaffed. We've been very, very lean over the years.
And you're still word of mouth is what you're saying too. How that's pretty remarkable to be able to reach end users.
Digital leverage. I mean, we are popular on the Instagram. The biggest ad spend right now is Material Bank, people asking for the product. So it's almost like a Google search.
You talked about your father being the founder and what is on your website. I'm going to read everything is automated and all products look the same. You talk about your ceramic and concrete products that are made by skilled human hand. The authenticity is something that we always talk about. Tell me about Arto's products and how skilled hands actually make your product.
Well, we still make it handcrafted because in the beginning, poverty forced us to make it by hand. In a way, not having enough capital in the beginning to automate has become now part of the feature of the uniqueness of the product. As one scales, the CFO gets involved and says, "How can we make it faster
Cheaper,
with less labor?" Yeah,
right?
exactly. Less cogs, less humans, because our biggest cost in our business is humans. It's not the material, as you know from your experience. It's the humans involved. We have a lot of humans involved in our business.
How many?
We peaked at 135, but now we produce more with 85.
Okay.
So we grew like a lightning bolt in 2010 because we had to survive. So in '08, '09, we went got a million customers, new dealers, and then when they all popped in 2010, we barely could hold on. So we just threw bodies at it in the old days.
Well, let's talk a little bit about dealers. Do you search them, or is that another word of mouth scenario where they find you and want to showcase your product?
I'm pausing for the appropriate answers, multiples. I think the last show we did was 4 years ago, 22 or 23 coverings, but before that it had been like 2018. So we do covering show when we
Mhm.
had a brand new package to show dealers, and we outpaced the economy in that year, and then 2024. So it's both. One of the things that are when we hire a rep, one of the things I've gotten feedback from them is we're one of the when they've worked in the industry before, they said we're one of the only products that people come in asking for by name. So people come into the showroom asking for Arto. And so we have that kind of pre-seed. And then when we reach out to them or they get asked, can we acquire the product? So the answer is everything from some trade show work, very rare for dealers, but this year, I think we opened up 40 locations already this year, multi-stored locations in tile. We were working in last year, but they closed this year. So that's, a lot of doors to be in for us. That was everything from we know he exists, and then the VP of sales going in there and getting the program organized. So I mean, it was a complete cycle. Like we exist, we're in the market, we're in associations, and then just all the above, multiple angles on that one.
Do those dealers, distributors sort of traditionally have enough product of yours on hand, or is it now more a display that then sort of on demand gets produced and sent to the end user?
We have a core product line of 10 SKUs that we stock in our Gardena location for our national distribution. And I would say we're broken up about 15% high-end hospitality, and then the balance of it is dealer work, distributor work. And of our customers, I'd say of the dealer distributors, 95% of them are just-in-time ordering. The other 5 are stocking it. So most of our customers are ordering it from our stock in real time, keeping their overhead down low, and it's an exotic product. We compete against France and Spain and Italy and on the look and the appearance and that's our competitor really is overseas. products.
I mean, I think the differentiation is, and from what I've seen of your product that's still on some shelves, as well as others, is there's a rough hewn, sort of obvious hand applied color, and that is differentiated when there's other competitors that are larger and are doing it more automated. Give me an idea of a piece of clay or a piece of concrete going through a conveyor belt and how it is how the color is applied onto to the tile.
It's just that it's an application as the human versus it being an automation. I think that would be the key difference. The technology is exactly the same, but instead of having a robot that pays back in 2 years, we have a guy who I basically pay for the next 10 years doing the same job. So that's why they're inherently cost more because our robots can apply face color to clay or concrete. We don't use robots.
And that's what I'm sort of alluding to, is the fact there's some perfection that you don't necessarily want to achieve in regards to way the color is lining up and even how it's
But yeah,
applied.
the more irregular, the better. I assume that you have an eye for pattern or catching
Yes.
patterns. And so I have an issue with patterns and I don't like it when things every 13th tile or 10th brick looks the same because of automation. So the more each one can be like a fingerprint, the better. The more that each tile can be uniquely its own entity with its friends is the better product. When you're doing a space that's going to be a historical, we do historical projects and you can tell when they bought machine-made perfect tile versus buying, whether it's mine or not, somebody else's stone or other terracotta from somewhere else that's made by hand. It looks better than a machine-made one. I mean, porcelain is great, but it has no soul.
That is true, and I think what's really interesting is you and I, we can have an eye for that because we've been doing it for a while, but there's something inherently subconscious about seeing that that maybe can't necessarily be articulated by the home buyer, but they can tell that it looks, as we said, more rough-hewn and done by hand.
Yeah, people say our products have a certain look to it when they know what to look for. Ours look different from the rest of the country, rest of the world. On the clay side, I'm working on being more so, but on the concrete side, we have a very, very unique look that I think the automation, the handcrafting of it is what really makes it different. You know that joke about you don't want a Monday or a Friday car?
I have not heard that joke. Please tell us.
Oh, people are either on Monday hangover or on Friday looking to check out for work. You want a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday car. So I make a joke that you want Monday tile and you want Friday tile because it's got the most variation in it.
There you go. That's good. Well, let's talk about colors. What are color trends right now that you're seeing? If you can
Well, it's
even say
going back
trends, you
to
probably don't like trends.
I have not added a color to our concrete scenario for 35 years. All the colors have been around, maybe different blends of colors, but they cycle. So when I was a kid, it was the Saltillo yellow, you know, when I was a kid. And the way color is going now, we'll see pink, real pink, rosa, a rosa color, gray, rosa, and yellow back. And done properly, they're timeless. I do think the brown gold colors are gonna be the most timeless colors, but we sold a heck of a lot of black terracotta. Um, uh, just and remember, we're in the West and in the, East, the Smile States, but the center of the country is still doing white and gray, but the outsides are starting to do more color. So I think we're gonna see the progression of back to Saltillo colors. Maybe more refined, but Saltillo colors again.
Interesting. Well, the exteriors we see a lot of the farmhouse, which is black and white, is that sort of tone on tone where you've got a shininess on the pattern, but a matte on the background. Is that how the black is looking?
No, it's just literally, Davis Color 807 all the way through, baby.
So that is a pretty quick application to a certain extent.
Well, there's no second color, it's just all the way integral.
How much is yours integral versus obviously surface color? A lot of your pattern
It
tiles
depends on,
obviously
like,
have
when it was
surface
black,
color.
I'd say it was 95%, everything was all the way integral, and then some of the colors that are flashed are both integral and flashed. I know a lot of the stone guys use a cream not all, but use a cream body and antique that, but we use a lot of color for the whole body.
What's the price of color today?
I don't even know. I just
You
know it
just
outstrips
you
my
just
labor.
buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my labor is more concerning than our raw materials. Raw materials are important. We've been using Davis branded products forever.
Who's doing good work right now that you know of?
Good question. I'll go backwards and tell you I've come to realize that all I do in life is build crayons for design companies and design firms and homeowners. I like color and texture. I don't know how it's being used. I am the only thing I like is as a whole, like I'm jealous of, is I wish there was more of the Mexican modern being done in the West. I think that look right now is so freaking warm yet clean and modern. Without, I think it's off the hook. So I don't know, have a designer off the top of my head, but that Mexican modern look, the Mexico City modern look, touches my heart when I
Okay.
see it. It's got the Adobe feel, but it's not, Adobe. It's got a modern feel to it, but it's still warm and there's movement. Everything from tiles to
Cleaner
plaster.
lines rather than sort of eased edges and everything?
It's like a clean line, but the corners are still a little bit round. It's like there's a little bit of warmth to the design, not just the color wise, but the edges are clean, but they're not perfect. Like Italian modern, it's not that. It's a different feel to it. That's what I like as a whole look, is that whole generic area is Mexico off the hook modern.
I think that's a good hyphenated phrase there that we'll have to trademark from your standpoint.
Isn't it already said Mexican modern or Mexican off the hook modern?
I think Mexican off the hook modern is definitely
It's
an
not coined yet.
Armin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, maybe that'll be your new tile everything.
Oh, you've been watching me. Yeah, I've been promoting tile more. In theory, more tile breeds more tile. The more they use it, the more they use it. You always want to be when you're young and dumb and have hair. I always wanted to be the only, but now I get that the more there's more tile in the world, the better for everybody.
It's really quite remarkable. I think that's a Bader-Meinhof syndrome where once you see it, all of a sudden it is everywhere. And
Yeah, it really is. It pops a space, and if it's the proper tile for the proper space, it'll be there when everyone's dead. No, really. Sometimes you see tile and you can tell that it shouldn't have been installed. It was just tile on the floor or tile on the wall. But you go to an old job, and you go, wow, they designed the space and the tile still works good there. It belongs.
that's right. We've got an outside aquarium that when we went for historic designation, the architect said, "You've got to keep that aquarium right there." And it's because of the tile. It's really quite remarkable.
Thank you. I'll put it on the X and I'll flip it. I'll do
There
my
you
tile
go.
everything with it.
There you go. Well, that leads me to our last question. I saw a reply from Skylar Romines who said, "Love is the answer, at least to most of the questions." And your reply was, "Definition of love? Question mark. Have you found the definition of love?"
I will give you my version of what love is. When David offends me, I forgive David before he apologizes. It's an unconditional forgiveness, not requiring David to make amends. It's the answer is love is forgiving others before they say sorry.
That's a great answer.
The Foundation is produced by Studio Conover and edited by Brett Euler. Studio Conover is a strategic marketing design firm for manufacturers of building products. Visit studioconover.com for more information.